And another gift guide episode. Jada Toys sent us some product samples. We got some of their Street Fighter 2 figures. Previously, we did Chun-Li, we did Ryu, so you can go back and check that one out as well. So here's some of the newer ones in the collection, and we got Dhalsim over here, and we have Bison. These figures are awesome. Last time we went over what we really loved about the packaging here was how it looks just like the arcade cabinet right in the front with the controls for 2 players on here. And you could even see the hit bars and everything on there about the characters. On the back, you got the character selection. You kind of wonder if this is a nice preview of all the characters coming out. But if you just want to cheat, you could go look at our video from Comic-Con. We covered their entire booth, and they had all their figures that are currently out and forthcoming. So you get a really good idea of that, as well as some of the special ones, like the car bonus stage, where you get to beat up the car and stuff like that. Those were all there, so you can check out all the little bonus ones that they had, along with all the other figures, including the hidden bosses. Everything that you want to see are all in that case, so go check out that video. But for now, we're going to be focusing on these guys that you can pick up right now. Dhalsim, one of my favorite characters to play with. I felt like he was easier to play with because he had that reach, so you keep your opponent at his distance. And of course, the boss battle with Bison, just a really cool character, and I think he's going to be a really cool figure. We'll check that out as well. And of course, there's also a Big Bad Toy Store version that is the Player 2 version with the alternative color scheme that is also available right now. But these are wide releases. You can get them a lot of places. We'll have some links for you at the bottom of this video as well. But why don't we come on in and check these great figures out. Okay, we have our Dhalsim here, and as before, we recommend you open it from the bottom of the box. They slide right out. This little tabletop here prevents it from coming up through the top because the way the box is shaped. So just sliding it out the bottom is the easiest way. You can see the background here, and I'll remove the figure, is his sort of home stage right from the game. So it's pretty cool and that consistent. They included that. And then we get our character right here. He, of course, is going to be wrapped in plastic here. And you can see he's going to have some of his stretchy parts. He's going to have a base, and he's going to have some hands and an alternative head. Now, he doesn't have the Yoga Fire or the Yoga Flame. That was his other move in there besides the stretching. But he has his stretching ability. Now, characters like Chun-Li and Ryu, they included the parts to allow them to do their energy effects. This one doesn't seem to have that included with it. But I think, like, you think of this character, you think more of the stretch than you do of the flame effect, which was his other move. So I think it's kind of, if you had to pick one to go with on a character, I'm glad they picked this one. So we'll check out our character here first. And as you can see, it's a nice, I think he's in the 6-inch scale here. He's got his little bands on him. They're independent here. His necklace is independent. Earrings, I mean, look at that detail. This is amazing. All the way into the waistband here, his shorts. He's got that great articulation. You can see with the knees, the double knee there. And then his ankles. He has the double elbow. He has the shoulder. Look in the back here. He's going to get full range there. You can see that sticking out. The deltoid or whatever there can move independently. And he can bend at the waist. I mean, great articulation, great likeness of the character in the game. Really well-designed figure. So that's just awesome that they did that. And he has an alternative head. And I'll sneak that out here really quick. So you have 2 different heads. You have an alternative set of hands, so you can do different poses. So these are more flat hands, and then he's got more of like a tiger claw hand. So here's his alternate head of Screaming. We'll do a quick head check to see how difficult it is. That came off pretty easy. And this one is going to go on. I always listen for a snap, but I think that's seated. And we have that head on there with the Screaming head now. So pretty awesome, I gotta say. They did a great job on that. And then we have his legs. So we're gonna make an attempt here to change him out. And we're gonna use his stand to help us give us some balance. But as you can see, he's doing a pretty good job balancing on his own. Now, this dynamic little action stand that's included here, I'm gonna assume is for some more of the poses he might get while extending his legs or whatnot. So we'll try that out here. So like if I wanted to situate him up here, I don't see where this is going to plug in. This is a weird little shape, but I think it might just help hold his arm or something so you could have some balance point for him. And so we'll try with the legs first. So we're going to take his right leg here. And since it's got the knee, I'm going to assume it changes right here somewhere at the hip. So, yep, we were able to take that out right there. and we'll pop this one in. So now look at that, he's got his leg extending. That is really cool. I mean, that is a really different way of doing a character. So I'm going to put his wrist in here to try to see if that helps counterbalance him. And I think it does. I think if you get him leaning the right way, you could get that really, really long side blade kick there. And that extra point of contact just helps widen his base to get that whole shot in. I mean, that is really cool. Really, really long limbs. So you could do that with the leg. I mean, that's a kind of a cool way to think to do a Mr. Fantastic figure too. And then one of his famous moves is where he kind of bends over and puts both arms out with the double punch. So let's see, with the arms, it looks like they change here at the upper bicep. So I'm going to try maneuvering these out. Whoop, I kind of lost the figure there for a second. Got them back. Maneuver these out at the upper bicep, and I'll try to hold on to them a little bit better this time. There we go. So you can see the pegs here for the arms, and I'm going to put both of these arms on. Now these are in a default punch, and I wonder if you could take the hand out. No, I don't. It's not. There's no give in it, so I don't want to try it too hard. But that would be cool. Then you could switch the hands at the end. But he has the double punch here. These arms come with his little bands on them as well, so that's a nice attention to detail there. And you could reorient so they're right in front of him. I think he had just like a little bend as he did this punch, but he could pull that off. He's got his little double punch. So pretty cool that he could get that look. Let's see if we could get him perfectly balanced here to pull that off. That might take a little effort of you adjusting him a little bit, giving him a wider stance, centering his core, and getting that just that right angle here to do it. Yeah, this might take a little playing around with, but I think you could do it because I feel like it's almost there. He's just a little bit of it's on the stance because it's going to pull him forward a little bit. But then maybe that's what this is for. This could help. Well, I got him. There we go. So he's got his double punch with his long extended arms. Pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, that is an awesome little feature to have on the character. So you could have 2 legs, you could have 1 leg, you could have double arms, you could have 1 arm, 1 leg, whatever you want. Let's see if we could get him into his standard cross leg pose he does at the end of a round, where he has his legs kind of up. Yeah, look at that. You could even do that. You get the full range of poses with this guy. Well, he won't have the crazy head when he does that, but you get the full range of poses on this guy. I don't know if you could use this to make him look like he's floating, but you might be able to if you get a little creative with it. But I mean, look at how cool that is too. You can get that pose in there. So I mean, awesome job on Dhalsim. I mean, they did an awesome job capturing this character. A lot of his little quirks, fighting moves, etc. I mean, it's all there. So definitely a well put together figure. Captures a lot of those features. I think he looks great. Will go well with the other figures as well. Let's move on and check out Bison now. Just like with Dhalsim, we have Bison in his little box here as well. You can see all his little features. He's got, I guess this was kind of used for the home stage for Bison. I believe Sagat was also, that was his background, but we got a couple of stages there. Look at this, we got a little instruction manual here. And this tells you how to remove the shoulder pads. So if you want to do that, it tells you how to remove them and how to install them. So we'll check that out in just a moment. This character looks a little bulkier. He's got all his armor on him as well. Definitely a little different than the other characters. We'll pull him out here. And he also has a cape that goes with him. We'll try to get this through here. That is fabric, which is also fun and nice. They give it a little more detail to him. And you can hear how solid he is hitting the desk here. The fabric cape has a wire in it. So you could frame it like blowing in the wind. You could frame it down at his side, however you'd want to frame that. So always awesome when they have a wireframe in a cape. I mean, look how tough this guy is with his white eyes, with his really solid form here. Same articulation. That double knee is going to be hidden in his leg armor. Range of hip here. You can see he has this flexible sort of, not a skirt, but a shirt hanging down there. Bicep articulation, that deltoid articulation, full range there. Bending at the arms again, nice range of movement, very cool. Very cool, very solid figure, really like this. Let's see what we got in range of accessories. If we can get him standing here. Of course, we always got to figure out, there we go. His first initial pose. Okay, so we have an alternative head. And our alternative head, what do we got? We got a smug look, and then we got a little teethy look here. And then we have an energy effect, which is awesome. So this is probably gonna, looks like it just attaches to his hand. So he could have this energy effect, which is really nice. So if we want to get rid of the capes, we could switch them out with this version, which we'll do that in just a second. And then we have some hands. These are more of like the tiger palm gripping hands like this that you can see right here. So something you could just swap in there if you wanted to really quick. Nice and easy to do. So let's see how to remove these. I think you just kind of lift up on them, at least according to the photo. And then you swap in the other ones. So, yep, these just kind of snapped right off of this, let's call it shoulder pad base. And then this one here, I think should go the same way. Yep, okay, so we switch those out. And now, they're more like caps than anything, as you can see here. And these should just go right on top of here. Some way, I think this way, or this way. Yeah, like this, okay. So these should just snap right in place, right on top of those old ones. And then we have our other shoulder pads. At any rate, once you get these on, then you have a different Bison with the shoulder pads without the cape. So you could have two looks essentially for the character, which I think is pretty nice to give little options to go with this, but a pretty solid character, as you can see here. Really nicely detailed. All the Bison-ness in his face and his features. I mean, and then you have the option of the cape and no cape. You know, you could throw that cape away at the beginning of the fight. But I think that is ideally the way you do it. And again, the way it wants you to do the shoulder pads is start from the beginning, kind of hook it on there, and then work your way back with it as you get the pads situated on there. And then to reverse it, you just kind of take it back again, take on the other one, start from the front, and work your way back. So that is just kind of how you situate these on here. It's tricky to get a hang of the first time, but you can hear it snap in there, and that means I got it right. And then this one seems to have the most problems, and there we go, I got it in there. And then you have the back to the cape version. So two ways you could do your Bison, with and without the cape. I love how that little look here could be on there, and you could have him posing his arms, laughing. Let's see if we get that crossing the arm might be tough because it's an action figure. But yeah, like getting that look is always tough with an action figure, crossing the arms. I think this is the most crossed arm I'm going to get him, but you can have that blowing in the wind cape look with the crossed arms, and then the tough demeanor, and you can even make the grimaced face on there as well. But that is your look at Bison from the Jada Toys Street Fighter II line. Well, these characters are just awesome. I mean, whether you're a fan of this like fighting feature look of Dhalsim or the just real tough guy lookness of M. Bison here, I mean, they have everything. And I love the features to be able to swap out the cape. I love the features of the long legs. And I forgot to mention they're kind of rubbery too. They have this ability where there might be like a metal line running in them, so you can sort of flex them different ways. So they don't have to be just straight. I didn't check that in the arms, but let me see the arms. Yeah, the arm's the same way. So there's a metal bar in there, so sort of like bendy figures, where you could angle them at different ways so they don't have to be perfectly straight. So that's kind of cool. It's another feature in that figure I almost overlooked. But a lot you could do with these two. very cool. If you're a Street Fighter 2 fan, you need them. You need your lineup, right? And Jada does not disappoint with these figures. So definitely worth every penny. You can pick them up right now. We'll have links to them. They're probably available at different prices at different sites. So we'll have some of the best lineups in terms of prices that we can find. We'll put them here. And of course, to be mentioned in our gift guide is something for that Street Fighter 2 fan in your life, of that arcade fan in your life. Again, I mean, look at that packaging. That is so cool. Even if you're not a diehard Street Fighter 2 fan, you're just an arcade fan, this is definitely something you're going to enjoy. And they have quite a lineup so far. You get Ryu, you get Chun-Li, you get Ken, you get Bison and Dhalsim, you can get Evil Ryu. He was an exclusive, so he might be tougher to track down. And there's more coming out. Gaiu's coming out in the next wave. I mean, of course, we saw Blanca already. I mean, there's a ton. All the figures in the lineup we showed you were available at Comic-Con. They're not out yet, but they will be coming out. So you can be very excited about what is coming out in the next year or so from Jada Toys. But for now, they got a pretty nice lineup, so you can start building that lineup for your own collection, for display in your arcade room, for however you want to do that. For the Street Fighter 2 fan in your life, these are available now and are great. They're not quite stocking stuffers, but they are kind of fun either way to put underneath the tree. So look to pick these up to satisfy that gift in your holiday season for that special someone. That is all for this time. Of course, we'll have more in our gift guide. We're going to be recommending more on Mondays and Fridays until we run out of time before our gift guide release. So be checking that out. So like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys next time.